He says can't make it tonight.
No, he can't make
He's
it.
going to the
Hello,
movies.
everyone. Oh, yeah, I know he's going to go see. Hello, everyone. This is Scratch and Jack, your host for the Amazing Scale Modelers Sunday Hangout. Amazing Scale Modelers is a Google Plus community of scale modelers of all shapes and sizes, interests, genres, and skill levels who like to share their tips and tricks with one another and learn more about their craft and to celebrate one another's scale modeling achievements. And Amazing Scale Modelers is perhaps the fastest growing or largest existence of this type on Google Plus. We just take everybody in. Plastic modelers, wood modelers, paper modelers, can't forget the paper modelers, and all kinds of things from sci-fi armor to cars to all sorts of things. And currently we have 2,207 members. And joining us today are some of those members and followers of Amazing Plastic. Nope. I said the word.
Nope.
Amazing Scale. Amazing. Old habits are hard to kill. And I mean that sincerely, I think. Amazing Scale Modelers is, let's see, models. You can go to my Google, listen, to my YouTube channel, Scratch and Jack, and you can participate in the side conversations. I'll be joining that momentarily if you're watching. And if you'd like to join, yes, why don't you send that message on my page, Scratch and Jack, and participate in the side conversation, ask questions, etc., etc. And we don't have Heath here today because I know what we're just discussing that. That's what got me discombobulated because Heath's not here. Not Heath. Having Heath here is having that little brother around that you never can get rid of, you know. But he says he's going to see a movie, and we can all guess which movie that is, and it has nothing to do with love stories. That's for sure. And starting with, I'd like to make a couple of announcements. We are winding up at the end of December our diorama. Our community build, and there have been people who've been posting. I don't know why I'm being so tongue-tied. Yesterday I was being so good. And we have a couple of dioramas to show you tonight even, and stick around. And next month, starting in January, we're going to do Out of the Comfort Zone build, community build. That will be building something that you haven't really done before. If you're into armor, build sci-fi. If you're into cars, build sci-fi. You see where the pattern is happening. And if you're sci-fi, definitely build a car, and the Batmobile does not qualify anymore, thanks to Liz.
Oh, shoot, I have a car I wanted to turn into the Batmobile.
And if there's a build that you had tucked away because you kind of, sort of, woulda, coulda, shoulda, woulda gave up on it, pull it out. That will be your challenge. That will be out of your comfort zone, or at least qualify as such. And currently, we have a couple of these members here. Let's talk some scale modelers. From my Google left to right, there is something that I got to bring up, and I've been meaning to bring up in the past handful of shows, maybe half a dozen shows. There have been people that have been asking me, am I still wearing my underwear because I haven't said so lately? I mean, a past year lately. We'll leave that alone, and you can guess as to whether or not I am. So for all you who have wondered, I've been wearing underwear. Maybe I'm wearing them too tight tonight. So let's start with Jim. How you doing, Jim?
I'm doing fine there, Jack. Yeah, I've been busy this weekend. Not as much on modeling as much as trying to finish off the Christmas season, getting ready for Christmas. But I have been working on a side project for another modeler, making windows for the for a 3D printed version of the Oblivion bubble ship. And that, and this past week, I finally got the shelves up to got my T-Rex all mounted, so it's all up on the wall now. Mm-hmm. So that's pretty much where I'm at. Other than I have picked out what I'm going to do for my spring build after the Out of Comfort build, which is, and I'm going to. Where are we here? Okay. Boom. No, the wrong one.
See how prepared modelers are?
Yeah, I know.
It's a good thing they're not participating in a wedding just at this moment. So, well, then again, weddings get
No,
delayed.
that's just the way it goes. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to do the black pearl.
Yes, you were showing that yesterday.
Not the most complicated of paper model ships to build,
Really?
but
Really? Are you sure about that?
It's nice though.
Yeah, I'm sure about that.
I don't know. It just seems to be complicated because it's a ship with a lot of sails.
Well, if you look at what involved into building this one and then compare it to a more proper ship kit, you can tell the difference. But this is just something I can throw together probably in 2 months without too much issue. If I go to a proper kit, I'm going to be 6 months at least.
So you never built one of these. This would be out of your comfort zone.
This is my comfort zone and my first dive into this class of ship.
Well, I don't know. I think what you're saying is kind of, I don't know. It just must be me then. You're saying it's not complicated and it's out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it's not as complicated as a more advanced ship model than this one.
So you're saying the rigging isn't as, I mean, because all these sailing ships have this rigging you got to put up.
Yeah.
Isn't as
complex.
Plentiful?
Yeah.
Okay,
it's not as complex.
Okay. Okay, so what part of it would be, other than not having built it, what would be the out of comfort zone thing part?
Well, so the out of cover is the rigging. Is once we get out into all this rigging and sails.
Oh,
I have had a hard time with
leave you.
sails in the past, so I want to get back. I got to conquer this part, the sails. So.
Okay.
Spring
Okay.
build, though.
That makes sense.
Spring build. Right?
Yeah, this is for my spring build, not the out of comfort. For the out of comfort, I've got a figurine to build.
Oh, okay. I thought it was the other way around.
This is my spring build.
All right.
So
the rigging is going to be printed on paper.
A lot of the rigging is in paper too. Yeah. So there's a lot of thin cuts there, but I've done that sort of stuff before.
No.
But it's thin cuts. Yeah.
I'm with Mike on that one.
What's wrong, Mike?
Really?
Oh my. Oh.
Sounds like I just opened up a bad nightmare for you.
Yeah, that just good luck with that.
So so that's where we are with that.
There's a certain amount of rigging pieces and parts that can be printed out. That'd be interesting.
Yeah. That's the other thing. Like a lot of the cross members are flat in that, as opposed to constructing tubes or making actual wood spars and that on the lathe type thing.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, I built a ship model that needed rigging, and it was they didn't have for the basic model or for the advanced modeler codes on it.
Yeah,
it just said it was just a model kit, and it was a cool kit. But for the rigging, it gave two options. One was tying the rigging, which would take forever and would be a royal pain. And I was a kid. I didn't want to take forever on something. Or it had a little jig that you could lay the rigging down on, and then you were supposed to paint it with clear nail polish. And once that hardened, you could cut out the actual rigging and put it on, and it looked surprisingly good. You know, just a little hint for people who want to break the rules.
Yeah. Well, the card trick is used for making the climbing rigging and that quite a bit. You lay thread and that out, and then you lay it crossways and lengthwise and glue all the joints.
Yeah.
And then cut it out once it's hardened.
It's probably same thing.
Oh, and I just discovered that Heath is going to see Rogue One. Oh, well, that was a hard guess. That was my fourth guess out of 3.
That was my first one when I heard he wasn't going to be here. So,
yeah. Would that be all there, James?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, other than what I can show, this is the kit that's going to be for the the out of comfort zone.
Oh, nice.
It's more or less builds. It builds like a Gundam kit.
Okay. Not that that would be something that would be for me out of comfort zone. A Gundam.
Do a
kit.
Gundam? Yeah.
I would think. I don't know.
I've got one here in my stash to build at some point. But
okay, plastic one.
A big one, yeah.
Yeah, you did say something about being in feet as far as tall is concerned. Isn't that right?
Pardon?
Or no. No, there was a paper one that you were going to do life.
There was that paper figure I showed you that was that was human size.
Yeah, human size. Yeah. That would be interesting. Certainly, that would be the last one to run out of a fire, I guess.
Yeah.
Gotta say, Jay, your lighting is exquisite. You've got perfect front lighting, back lighting. You look 20 years younger with that blue on the top of your head.
Well, I've been working on it. I've been getting some new lights. I've been making some new lights. The show is definitely coming back in January, so I'm getting ready for it. I've got some decent lights, decent audio equipment, and decent camera, and now I've just got to get down here and make some decent video.
Right.
You know, but I've got a lot planned for things. I'm just looking forward to getting back going on it. I'm also going to continue to do really short bits that are for like it's not tips and tricks, but it's that kind of thing, you know, like the one I did on using when using hot glue. You can take a can of spray air, you know, they use on your keyboard or something, turn it upside down, and it sprays the liquid that's inside onto the hot glue and hardens it really fast because it's extremely cold. It's like 32 degrees below zero or something like that when it comes out. So things like that. I'm working on that. For the out of comfort build, I haven't decided yet because when it comes to, you know, I usually do sci-fi, but I've done ships, I've done cars, never done a motorcycle. I've done lots of figures. I was thinking about I wanted to take the Monkey Mobile and turn it into a Batmobile. I think that could be
absolutely fantastic idea.
I think that could be cool because that car has just got a nice shape to it, and I think it would make a good Batmobile.
Yeah, then Batman would have a Phaeton.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So that's what you'll be. I can't imagine.
Doing.
I can't imagine anything being out of your comfort zone.
Well, I built everything. That's the problem. Almost. Like I said, I've never built a motorcycle. I built tanks. Built a lot of armor. A lot of the miniature figures. So I've never built a paper model. Well, that's not true. Actually, I built. I years back when a friend of mine and I were in grade school, we found instructions on building a bunch of the like Mercury and Gemini and Apollo spacecraft
Oh, yeah.
on a paper, but they're really, really simple models. If the model had more than 10 pieces of paper, I'd be surprised. You know? So, but I have done some paper, very little. I also sculpt and I carve wood, and so yeah, it's hard to find something that's really out of my comfort zone. But there are things that I just don't do regularly, and cars are one of them. I've never done a Gundam model, and I don't have any, but I do have something that's very similar to a Gundam model. There was an anime called Tiger and Bunny, which was a superhero anime, and it was one of Deanne's favorite shows. So we found a model kit of the Tiger, you know, body armor. Tiger in full body armor, and that's like a Gundam kit. It's made by Bandai, and it's very similar to a Gundam kit. I might do one of those as well.
Well, speaking of Gundam, Mark Dunmore is watching, I believe. At least he's participating in the side conversation on my YouTube. I keep saying Google Plus. I don't know what it is. YouTube channel where the side chat can be happening. And if well, yeah, you should, he says, to build a Gundam. Now, if you're listening, Mark, why don't you tap in a kit that you would suggest for someone who's never done one? Now, mind you, you've lit these things. You've put LEDs in these things too. And, just as a curious question, is there a simple kit out there, or is there a manufacturer, or is there a particular, whichever? I mean, that would be interesting to find out as to what would be a good thing for someone who's never done one. In fact, I'm going to jot it down and see if ever it comes to pass that I'll pick one up. And still moving on with our people participants. It looks like you turned a few lights on there, Mike.
I turned off some and turned on some others.
And that's what you did.
It won't be over here. It's over here instead.
Oh, okay. And that's what you did for the sake of modeling tonight. Turn on some lights, turn on some.
So you're introducing me because I'm on your Google.
Yeah. You're actually in the middle now. You're from my Google left to right. You're the next one.
Okay. Well, HobbyLink has a YouTube channel on Gundam.
Do they really?
They produce regularly. Yes, they produce a regular television type quality show about Gundam. I think once a week, and you can look up HobbyLink on your YouTube and find out everything you didn't want to know or did want to know.
HobbyLink TV. Look up HobbyLink TV.
HobbyLink TV. Yeah.
Okay.
And other models too. They do other models, but that's
Mostly Gundam.
Mostly Gundam. Yes. Well, the Gundam part of the HobbyLink is they did have some other channel too for a while, but you will find out everything you need to know about Gundam. I don't know. I might resurrect a model that I've been putting off. It's really not my type of model to build. So I'll think on it whether or not I want to do that. I don't want to say which one because I got two that I don't really want to finish.
Oh, I still owe you.
Finish one or the
Actually, I owe you a kit from last year's. I haven't forgot. Your last year's. Do you recall what that was?
Yeah, it was an aircraft carrier.
Yeah, it was the Hornet. The USS Hornet. 1400, 1200 scale, something like that. Oh, no, 530 scale. 530 scale. And you said, well, I only have workspace like this much. Well, you're going to have to, for this, you're going to have to probably double that area.
That's the thing.
But I still owe it to you. You won't get it.
You can have a workspace this wide, but as you work, the workspace gets smaller and
It's
smaller.
smaller.
So you're working in an area maybe about yay big. You're doing all your work in this little tiny clean place. That's me. So
I swear you must have been looking at my workbench.
We all suffer the same malady.
Mine gets smaller this way, though, mostly.
Right. Oh, okay. Yeah, that seems to be my troubles too. Mark came back with Bandai Master Grade New Gundam Verka or the Master Grade Jester. Nice builds, great kits, just as dirt cheap as well. So that would be something I gotta. Well, that's going to be indelible on this video once it's posted. So.
Yeah, anything in the Master Grade will be a good starter place.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Didn't know that.
All right. So let me jot this down. Would that be all, Mike?
Well, yeah, let's move on because I really I've had a long day.
Yeah. Oh, you had a long day. Yeah. Turning those lights on and off, I would agree. How you doing, Randall?
Hi, Jack. How are you?
I'm feeling my oats all of a sudden. This is what it looks like when Jack is feeling his oats.
Well, I'll kick off with my out of the comfort zone build, which will be this here.
Ah,
yes.
An Airfix.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Does it come with molded sails, or do you have to?
It does, yeah. They come in a
Card.
Vacuum formed. Yes, vacuum formed sails. I've done that kind of thing before.
But I don't know whether I'll actually be using the seals on it or not, or just leave it as with the rigging. But I nearly said something else that started with an F that rhymes with rigging, but sorry about that. I don't know. I'll see how it goes when I get along. But speaking of the rigging, Airfix helps you out with that as well because it provides this stuff here.
Yeah, you got your Ratlins already built.
Yeah.
Which saves an awful lot of fiddly work. Some of them have become a wee bit detached there, so I might still have to do a bit of gluing with that.
Yeah.
And I can't find. Oh yeah, here we are. Typical Airfix, right?
Yeah.
These are the kit plans, right?
Yeah.
Turn over the page, and it's stage 7. Get 9.
A friend of mine was building.
It's stage 5.
Wow.
Yeah.
You have to go back to the other side of the sheet. Get one to 4. Yeah.
Years ago, a friend of mine was building one of those, not the Airfix kit, but it was one with the vacuum formed sails, and he poured plaster into the concave side to make molds, and then laid really thin cloth on top of those. He finished up the plastic molds so that they were nice and smooth, and put some varnish on them, and then he laid really thin cloth on top of that and painted it with probably just clear enamel, and then cut them out, and they looked great. Because that will help it hold its shape and everything.
They're actually made of cloth too, which helps.
And they're made of cloth, which was nice, but got very dusty very fast.
Yeah, I think I would have to put this one under glass or something like that to stop.
It's amazing how quick that rigging attracts dust.
Oh yes,
and spiders.
Yeah.
I might have to train some spiders to do the rigging in this thing.
Not a bad idea.
Yeah, I mean, how can you tell the difference? But that's actually a pretty cool idea, Jay. I mean, making plaster molds and using a fabric. Yeah, you can. I don't know. You could use a resin type of thing to make it pretty rigid, couldn't you?
Yeah. You could paint resin on it if you wanted to. It's just or epoxy would probably be really good.
Yeah, that'd be my first choice.
Clear
Actually, that's what I meant. But
Actually, what I would do is stain the cloth first. Like, use a tea stain. Stain the cloth first, and then put your clear resin over it, because then it's like fiberglass that way.
One of the modelers that I corresponded with a few years ago, he would blow cigarette smoke through to get at the corners to get a nicotine stain on the cloth.
Yeah,
looked really.
The other way to do it with cloth is to starch it.
Yeah,
starch the cloth.
I've seen people use starch on that as well over the plaster molds.
Yeah.
I would find it would be a lot easier just sticking with the vac form.
Oh yeah. Just bring up an alternative.
Never casted anything in my life. Go that far out of my comfort zone.
Well, if you never cast anything out of your in your entire life, I think it's about damn time you start.
Yeah, maybe that'll be next year's comfort zone.
Right.
And
for the think of that, I'll just hop over to Mike's place, and he can blow as much smoke as possible on my sails.
and for the spring build, I'm going to have another crack at something like this. More rigging, but at least I reckon that after doing the rigging of the Discovery, doing the rigging for this is going to be a lot easier.
Probably, yeah.
This will be this is the Rodin 32 scale kit.
Which plane is that? I don't remember.
CE5.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that was early in the war.
Not quite late, actually. It was 1917, 1918.
Oh, yeah. 1917.
Okay, yeah, because the war lasted until 1918. Most of the planes were shooting through propellers by that time, but some of them did still have the like the French models, the French planes tended to have the machine gun on top of the wing and such.
Yeah.
But
now this one here, actually, the SE5A had both.
It did both.
There was one mounted on the fuselage, which fired through the propeller arc, but by that stage, the British had the interrupter.
They had the cam in,
that stopped them from shooting off their propellers.
Before that, they had a steel wedge.
Yeah, they'd have a steel plate on the.
Some of them, so the bullets hit this wedge, and you just didn't know which way they were going to go. Well, they might even have come straight back and hit the pilot. You never know. But they also played safe with the SE5A. They also had a gun sitting on the top wing here, which apparently would have been quite fun trying to reload it.
Yeah, about that.
Yeah, especially with a top loaded.
It rolled back on rails on some of them. Yeah.
There was a reel here that he pulled it down, but I think he still had to stand up in the cockpit to get the ammunition drum onto the gun.
Well, that left them on to be a target.
Good old Lewis gun, yeah.
Well, then again, the whole plane would have been a target too. Yeah, Bob stopped by and said hello, and he's back to work. It must be nice. He must be on a break or something. Anyway, Bob was watching. He said that we said a joke. I don't know what joke we said yesterday. He referred to a joke, but I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Trying to think what the joke was.
We're not chaps.
Yeah.
So you're going to go with that on your spring build, which is starting in March. Is that right?
Yeah, around the end of February, in March.
That's if I actually get the Discovery finished in time. Speaking of the Discovery, I might even actually build. I have a couple of 144 scale shuttles in the stash, and I might build as the Discovery is 144 scale. I might just build a shuttle to display alongside it.
That would be cool.
A shuttle ship from 1901 and a shuttle from 2001.
Mm-hmm.
Not the movie, just the year.
That would be cool. I've always liked those kind of displays, and maybe if they come out with a model of the new Star Trek ship, you could put that in too.
Yeah, right.
Although I don't think they're going to come out with a 144 scale model of it.
No.
Yeah, that'd be kind of big.
Starship. Yeah. If you've got an extra kitchen table, it would sit on that.
Yeah, that'd be quite a bit bigger than the 350s that Polar Lights are doing.
I think you'll find with the rigging on the Discovery is that it gets easier as you go. So I promise it will. Ooh, the drugs just kicked in. Hi, Jack. How you doing?
You did post something, Randall.
Oh yeah,
It's actually quite nice. It's actually quite nice.
I built the 1,000 scale Enterprise a few months ago, and I also had the Space Seed issue of the kit.
Yes.
And I think Jack's just shown it there. Yeah, that's it. And I just slammed the parts together out of the kit, painted it, weathered it with ground up pastel chalks, sealed it all in with clear flat, and just plunked it on the display, and there you go.
It's good.
Yeah, it's really good. It's really, really good. Did a very good job in the paint, and they look like they fit together for ready to be filmed in front of a blue green screen, and there you have it. That's what we remember as kids, anyway.
Maybe somebody with better Photoshop skills than I have might do it. If they want to take the images and play with them, feel free. Let them tear on.
Right.
Michael Lalor took one of the images I took of the Enterprise build originally, and Photoshop. I don't know if I'll be able to find it again, but it's there somewhere.
Right.
That looked nice.
It was a very nice build. You're impeccable when you work. Your paint is always flat. It's always on the model as opposed to.
You should see me applying paint. I do it with.
What's that?
You should see me applying the paint. I do it with a lot of it with rattle cans, and I've entertained the neighbours watching me be chased around the garden by clouds of spray paint.
Right. And is that it?
That's it. Yep.
Wow, gee, that took us about 34 minutes to do. Yesterday, it took us an hour and a half to do this. Boy, we were good either we're in good form tonight or we're in good form in yesterday.
Yeah.
I have made progress on my bird of prey fishing trawler, the Ocean. I do believe I showed the Ocean off yesterday on the Across the Pond Hangout. So if you're interested in my toilet paper Ocean, just tune in to go to my channel and tune into yesterday's Across the Pond Hangout. That will be the Across the Pond. Let's see, there's a number to it. I number my things. Number 58, I think. Yeah, this is number 59, so it'll be number 58. So I did some work on it. I've got the bird of prey over. I got the right spacing, all this sort of thing. I just got to finish my fishing trawler and do my my shadow box, much like Jim did on one of his builds. So I decided, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and finish with my Ducati diorama. And I whipped together a scene here. As you probably can tell, there's main body is all banged up, not on the bike. And as I turn around, you can see on the workbench that this owner has been working on the panels. And I put together a little table workbench there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Some things on the bench itself.
Cool.
And I have posted pictures, not very good pictures. We were just talking about that before coming back on the air. I think I'll repost them. Got the idea to cover up my lamps, or at least turn one of the three off, so that it's not so overexposed. But yeah, this is just a. I went to Home Depot to buy the acrylic paints for the ocean, and there was this little chalkboard. I'm going to be daring, and I'm going to tilt it on its. See, this is one of those chalkboards.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And I just I did repaint this chalkboard. This was a chalkboard too, but I did it with black primer. I could have left it with a chalkboard. I could have made some scuff marks. I don't know. I could have done. There's a lot of things I could have done. But this was something that was easy to put together, and I spent all day doing this, actually, getting this done. Everything's glued on with hot glue.
Cool.
So that's my participation in the diorama. Of course, there's more to come. I have another diorama. What's the use? Why not do two instead of one?
Why not?
Yeah, but this was actually, I mean, looking at it was pretty basic. It was pretty simple. And the table's still drying. That was with Model Masters paint, because I didn't have any kind of good color of Vallejo.
Well, it looks
But
really
the
nice.
pegboard.
I like it. I like it a lot.
Thank you. Thank you. And the honest truth is, the reason why I made this is because I messed up on the body. So there's some real truth to that. So I messed up the paint really bad on the body. So that would be my workshop. But and also too, I mean, it's such a fantastic model kit. It's a Tamiya kit.
Mm-hmm.
And I made a lot of comments. I think Jim is not tired of hearing me say this, is that it was just a pretty model to cover up. It was just too pretty.
Yeah.
And I have pictures here that I took when I first built the itself. And without the wheels, it actually looks really cool without the wheels. I'll show you. Expand this a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, present to everyone. There we are. Let's make this a little bigger. And I just think it's just so. This is even without the tubing.
Mm-hmm. It does.
Because they actually give you tubing to basically put the I don't know what you'd call them.
All the hoses and that, yeah.
Hoses, yeah. There's one in there inside. But I had this on this particular picture on my Google Plus page for the longest time. And that exhaust pipe is an accidental color. I was explaining to Jim, I think it's silver and a gray that I mixed together. And apparently one of the two paints has a green in it.
Or a blue.
Your gray.
That came out of the paint. And so that's a one-time color. I don't think I'll be able to mix that ever again.
It looks good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Looks real.
And that's what,
Yeah, that's the thing I was going to say. You could take these pictures and superimpose them in an actual workshop, and they'd look like it was a real thing.
Yeah.
yeah. And of course, now this is the stills that I have for my diorama. That's an okay picture, I guess.
Oh, it looks good though.
Oh, it looks nice.
Mm-hmm.
And this is also a very nice picture that I like.
Mm-hmm.
So there's my diorama, my contribution to the build. The one I started with is still under construction, so I had to show something before the year was out.
Yeah.
But that's good. The shadow box, apparently, I got to this point and I'm thinking, oh, the shadow box will be real easy. Now I'm thinking, now how am I going to go about doing it? I've been getting suggestions from everybody who's done one. Jim's pretty simple. Suggestion is just get the foam board and just make a box. Call it a day. It could be done that way.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, that's a good point. I mean, that would probably be the easiest way to do it. Foam board holds up pretty well.
Yeah.
So we'll see. So anything else, fellas, before we start sharing some things from the community?
I have a late entry for the diorama. If you just hang tight there a second.
Well, actually, I did show one of your dioramas already.
Oh, right.
It doesn't have a black. It has a space background, though.
Here we go. John, I'd like to introduce you to the British Aerospace Shitehawk FGR Mark II stealth aircraft.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Whenever it's parked, all you ever see is the wheels and the ladder up to the cockpit.
Yeah.
It was really hard to make because I accidentally, it took me months finding all the pieces again because I accidentally dropped the box.
Keith want to. Yeah, I know, Keith. I was presenting my. I wasn't paying attention. Go ahead.
That's my entry.
That's very cool. I love what you did with the wings.
Finding all the pieces. Apparently they had a Mark I version, but unfortunately somebody switched it on, and they haven't been able to find it since.
I'll be back in a minute.
I wanna. Okay, I'm looking for things, so I'm not really quick. I'm sorry, Randall. What was that? Oh, you're done.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, sorry. I said that they had a Mark I version, but they switched it on by accident one day, and they couldn't find it again. So they figured with the Mark II, they'd have one that actually showed the wheels. So at least they could trip over it.
Well, I don't know. I consider a base.
There should be some remove before flight flags.
Yeah, I did think of adding them, but I couldn't find the pins to tie them to.
Yeah, that's finding the pins is. But you need the pins in the ejection seat. You really have to have them.
Yeah.
Accidental.
Yeah.
What there now?
About that, I heard a bang in the middle of the night, and I'm not sure, but I think the ejector seat fired.
Oh.
But there you go.
A lot of kits are coming with bases, and Omar, this is a super. I'm getting up to speed with superheroes. So who can tell me who this is?
Deadpool.
Deadpool, yeah.
Yeah.
Pitbull.
Deadpool.
Deadpool.
Oh, Deadpool. Okay.
The merc with a mouth.
Yes.
Yeah, this is on a base, very dioramic, if I may add that. A little bit of background instead of what I use is my workbench background most times. This is a really good paint job, and you guys in the figure modeling, that's all. That's everything to your builds. Isn't that right, Keith? It's the paint and not even so much the build itself.
Well, actually, I'm going out today and buying that particular kit because my daughter is writing to Deadpool, and I thought she's away for a couple of weeks, so I thought I'd buy it, and make it for her, and paint it and everything, and then give it to her as a Christmas present.
Oh, nice, nice. But that's my point, though. It's not the build itself. The build is rudimentary. It's pretty simple. It's the paint that matters.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I can't imagine masking off all those curvy surfaces and make them look like, you know, look like something. I mean, are you able to do video, like an instructional video? And I'd like to see how you mask your things, like mask your figures to get that, get the right effect.
I've tried that masking, that rubber masking, paint on masking, liquid. I've tried blue tack. I've tried all sorts of things. And the thing I find that works the best is silly putty, of all things.
Silly putty.
Yeah.
sorry, I'm laughing. I just think it's kind of funny.
It is, isn't it? It's like it was the first time I tried silly putty, and I masked off hair and stuff like that to do the face, and it was like, wow.
And you can cut the silly putty to have a really sharp mask, and it's like cutting masking tape. Only you can.
Yep.
Well, you know, even Mark Dunmore just wrote in that he said that masking on his current project, I think he was doing the anime figure, and he's saying it's driving him crazy. But I have not seen, I can't say that I've seen a video on masking.
Yeah, and we'll see. The reason why I like silly putty so much, like say Mark's doing he's already done the face and he was doing the hair or something. To silly putty the face is actually quite easy to do. And you just use your sculpting tools and just put a bit of silly putty down and blah blah, and it doesn't leave any residue or anything like that. So it's a really good masking material to use. So it goes on, comes off. The only thing it does is it slumps a bit. So yeah. So you sort of need to mask and spray pretty quick.
Don't let it sit or it'll slide. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can reuse it too, can't you?
Oh yeah, reuse it a lot. I've got different grades of silly putty as to how much it's been used and how much it hasn't. And you're right through the new.
Well, I gotta say, I did have that suggestion given to me, like in the past, and first thing I did when I was out was go look for it. I can't find it. I guess
you can find it at the dollar stores.
The one dude I don't have to mask is this guy.
Yeah, Rom.
Which is Rom. Which is I'm just letting him set up. He's got white aluminium, jet exhaust. Blue, of all things. So it gives him that stainless steel almost look. He's got shadowing and stuff like that on him. So he's turning out really well. I'm really impressed about how he's turned out. But I've got to do all the black edging and highlighting and stuff like that. So I want to put a cover over the top of him first, and then. So yeah.
Yeah, I was. So how you doing there, Keith? What an introduction. I'll leeway into it and I'll even ask you how you doing. How you doing?
Good. Yeah, really good. As I said, I've nearly finished Rom. Just got to put a cover on him and do some shadowing and some highlighting and a bit of detail. But his eyes light up, his chest lights up, his gun lights up. So actually look good when it's all unmasked and done. I'm putting across his visor. I'm putting some PETG, some of the clear PETG, and just going to spray it in Tamiya smoke or something like that.
Yeah.
When you actually see his eyes, you'll just see like a visor, and when you turn the lights on, then his eyes will light up.
Right, right.
So I've nearly finished. Hang on, I'll just get it. Nearly finished. A little bit more detail painting on him to be done, and he'll be done.
Oh,
Charming.
Detail painting and some metal balls have got to go in there, like ball bearings. They're chrome ball bearings. I got some small ones to fit into his control metal and the metal on his body. But yeah, to highlight black is just to get like a grey and just go along all the bottom edges of the cracks and all that type of stuff. And so he's not wholly solely black. So but yeah, there's a bit more to be done on him, but he's turned out quite well. And then I'll just stick the blades on them. So I cast up a set of blades for his comes out of his wrists and Guyver's come out of his arms. I had to cast him in resin because he's vinyl, and the blades just flop. So thin vinyl parts just flop. So I had to cast. That was my first casting experience. I had to cast the blades up. They turned out reasonably well.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of fun. Yeah.
Cool. I got a picture to show you guys. I want to ask you if it's real or Memorex. If you're old enough to know what I mean by that. Is this real or is it Memorex? This is from Back to the Future. This is Biff's car.
Mm-hmm.
Is it real or is it Memorex?
That's real.
no, it's a hell of a model though.
It's Memorex. It's a diorama.
Yes.
Is it?
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep. This is Lee Chambers that has been posting an awful lot of good stuff lately, and a lot of it. And he said he got this kit. He didn't know how to make it, but he made it as in the Back to the Future Biff's car.
Yeah.
And
Sweet.
this is the 37 something or another. I'm not sure which. I'd have to open it up further. But very cool. Very cool.
Lovely finish in the metalwork there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you did an excellent job there. That's outstanding.
Yep, and just a contrast between the body and then the underside.
Well, that's a V8 60 Ford flathead V8. And that's a 36 Ford.
I think he. Mark asks Keith, what color is the Guyver 3, black or purple?
Oh, well, that's a good question. That's a good question. I'd say he'd be closer to. I'd do him black and purple, if you know what I mean. I'd probably do a base of black, but I'd do a very dark purple, like for highlights and stuff like that. So he would read as really dark, but you'd have like purple accents to him, if that makes any sense.
Uh-huh.
Or he'd almost read as black. But yeah, I use probably speaking directly to Mark here. I use those FW acrylic inks, and they are absolutely awesome for that type of thing. I got a really dark purple. I sometimes put a bit of black in, and yeah.
All right. The car, for the satisfaction of Mike there, he said he won an eBay bid, and it was able to be built as a 46, 47, 48 model Ford.
Yeah, 40,
No, that's a model Ford. And he built it as the Back to the Future as a 46.
46 Ford, yeah. All right. I must have misspoke. But yeah, 46 Ford. It's a V8 60 flathead Ford engine. I know what that is. Here's one.
Hmm.
See where the radiator hoses go
Right.
in the middle of the head?
Hmm.
No.
That's one of the way you can tell. Plus, a lot of head bolts.
Mhm.
That's same style engine as what he's got in there.
I see. I see. And he further goes on to say that he uses silver solder to make the stainless body strips. The number of planes aren't correct, but California was on the place, so he robbed some of it from another kit. The stainless body strips.
The trim, yeah.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
He made this out of solder?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, silver solder is stiffer.
Yeah.
It melts at a lot higher temperature than regular solder. And yeah, that's a good idea to do that.
Yeah, so let's take a look at it again, because I find that manufacturing yourself detail like this is freaking awesome. Not to put too fine a word on it. We're talking about this stuff, right here.
No,
Yep.
Hmm.
Yeah, and you can get silver solder in ribbons rather than just round.
Yeah.
So
Oh, okay.
that's a damn good idea. I like that.
So he didn't necessarily have to melt it, then, is what you're saying.
Immediately post World War II, most automobiles didn't have chrome on it. They used stainless steel and aluminum because you couldn't get chrome.
Right.
Hmm.
Some of the first Packards came out right after World War II, and they had painted bumpers, which they said that you could exchange them at a later date for chrome-plated bumpers a year later.
Hmm.
Which meant you would get an opportunity to trade in your whole car at the dealer while he's got you in there changing your trim.
At the risk of sounding like a rivet counter, he's missing the sports guide that he stole or was given. It was sitting right here in the back seat, so I don't want to sound like a rivet counter, but that was just an observation.
It was probably in his hip pocket when he got out of the car.
That's true. That's true. He's probably out of the car. All right. Fair enough. But the great interior, too.
Yeah.
Very cool
I
interior.
was just wondering with that picture that he posted going into the garage. I just want to know where he got the figures, or whether he had figures with it, or
Figures might have been photoshopped in.
Yeah, let's. Well, I don't think a lot of that was photoshopped. I think it was a diorama. He doesn't say that in his description, but if you look close enough,
that looks like a still from the movie.
Yeah, I think that's a still from the movie.
okay, then it's real. Then not Memorex.
That's real.
Because it looks like there's old Biff and young Biff, because young Biff is looking at the scratch on his car, freaking out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. I stand corrected, because it still looks a good diorama, though. Well, Lee, that's how we are. Speaking of which, Lee has posted, I don't know, he's posted a lot of stuff. And this guy is extremely well-rounded as a modeler. And what I'm going to show next, he does motorcycles. In fact, one of the pictures that he posted of his motorcycle, I could have sworn it was real. But it's further down the thread. Just trust me that when he took the way he took the picture of it, it looked like his bike was sitting in his driveway, but it was actually sitting on like maybe a chalkboard like I have here, and which would have been, of course, like asphalt. But when you look at his stuff, is the way he photographs them is very much to make it even more real. And just as an example, both on well-rounded as he is a modeler, And as far as a background that he chooses to photograph in, here's a good example of what I mean.
Ooh.
Now, clearly we know this is a model because it's sitting on a stand, but having chosen a sky that looks like that, just gives it a sense of realism to it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So not just paint, maybe even a setting as far as, and you know what, just as tightly wound as this might sound, is I think this possibly can qualify as a diorama too, because he's setting it into an environment that makes sense. But he does a video of this too, and his sensor array is just like it is in the movie, exactly the same as it is in the movie. How he pulled that off is beyond me. And it's probably something as simple as solder. But he's a very well-rounded modeler, and I'm going to be basically featuring his stuff on this show because he's definitely exemplifies what Amazing Scale Modelers pretty much is, all the different genres, the different kinds of model kits, and the like. Now, if I can just quickly find that motorcycle, I mean, when I say that, not only his building is that good, it's also the setting he uses. So let's see if we can find that out. Here it is. Oh, right by it. Okay, computer, what are you going to do now? Maybe I was going a little too fast for it.
Jack's too fast for his computer.
Yeah, go figure. I'm faster than a computer.
Too sexy for his shirt.
Seriously. Okay, come on. You can do it. You can do it. Oh, here it is.
The computer doesn't ask me to sit down and take a stress pill.
And the reason I thought it was real is because this is a kind of motorcycle I would love to run around town.
That looks sweet.
CB 750, yeah.
No, it's a 900 Kawasaki. One of the.
Oh, that's a 900. Okay.
That's the one with the green and yellow. That would
Yeah.
be. Let's see, that'd be the third year they were out.
Mm-hmm.
First year.
This actually looks like this
First year
driveway
is
to me.
maroon on orangish color with a maroon is the first color for the first year.
This looks like this driveway to me because it's got a little dimple there in the pavement, and the tire has some rubber. I guess it will be oxidation of some sort on the tires.
Yeah, you treat them with you can treat them with talc and then rub that off, and then it'll work its way into the rubber.
Yeah, and boy, that's a good paint job too.
Beautiful. It's also the way they looked.
Where did Jay go?
He just dropped out there. I don't know where he went.
Yeah.
Gall darn Google.
But this looks so real to me because even the slight imperfections from age, but well kept with age, chrome on these pipes and these mufflers.
There's a bit of dirt and stuff on the strings and the reflector on the back.
Right here? Yeah. Right in
Yeah.
here.
That would be consistent with age. The Kickstarters, the rubber on them always was coming off. It wasn't, you know.
Kickstarter.
And there was.
Oops. I just popped back to the community. Okay. But we got the idea of a kind of a modeler he is. Really
it's all very well done.
Yeah, very good. Very good. So really, I really thought that was a diorama. All it was on a sheet of something that made it.
You can use sheets of, to look like asphalt, or other kinds of sandpaper to look like gravel. Just lay it down and spritz over it with a matte finish, and then let it sit there. I used to use Elmer's glue in a bottle, cut about 100 to 1, spritzing over sandpaper to make roads for my model train layouts.
Mm-hmm.
Wet and dry sandpaper is what I used with that, so you didn't get too much of a curling. But putting the yellow stripes on is hard.
Yeah, it is. I think he had painted that yellow and masked it off. Certainly, I don't think it's silly putty, but he had to have used maybe the Tamiya masking tape. I think would be something. Either that he painted. Which do you think he painted first, the yellow or the metallic green?
The metallic green would be on top of any color you chose, but if you tried yellow over metallic green, you're not going to get far. No,
that's what it was. Then the yellow first, then the green came second. Okay, yeah. Makes sense. Yeah, makes sense.
The metallic laying over another color is easier than trying to lay a color over metallic. The metal flake, not metallic, the metal flake. Is still going to show through whatever color you try and paint over. That's why.
There's a video here from Gary Tonk. Sorry if I'm murdering your name there, Gary. You did a video about some tips and tricks on a diorama. It looks like you're laying like pavers for a diorama build. And he'd come back. He's doing a Voyage to Bottom of the Sea diorama. And I'm not getting this particular diorama. Maybe you guys can help me with this. I don't know.
Oh, the monster from the Black Lagoon holding it?
Yeah.
I think they did an episode one time with back in the early days of Voyage. And they used a lot of the monster costumes and things like that.
Yeah. There was one. There was one episode that was there was like a sea monster, humanoid speed monster. It had a hold of the sea view.
Yeah.
So this would have been in the context. This would be correct because somehow I felt the context wasn't right.
No, it's correct.
Okay. There's not too much that I see Ken doing dioramas, but it's probably old hat to him. He does a lot of scratch building for sure. He probably scratch built everything there you see.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
Yeah, he is pretty good. Having quite a side conversation there, Keith, with Mark. So if you're still watching, just go to my YouTube channel, Scratch and Jack, and you can participate too in a side conversation. I got maybe one more to show, and we'll wrap it up. Yesterday was across the pond. It was probably the longest show we've ever done. It was an hour and 30 minutes and some seconds long. I'm promising I'm not going to make it this long again, but if we get into that, I'll just have to make it long. What can I tell you? So let's see what else caught my eye. You said to Mark that you got a clear D, Star Trek, a clear model that's been released. I understand they're going to be re-releasing.
I had on back order from Cult TV Man. I had the clear D and the 1350 TOS Smoothie, re-release of it.
Smoothie.
And I went, oh, they won't come in before Christmas, because you know what model companies are like. You know, they always say it's going to be out by this time, and it never is. Yes, that's the exact one.
Right. Yeah, but you made mention of a Gundam too.
And a Gundam. Yeah, I got of the winged Gundam. It's the I think Mark knows the terminology. I think it's perfect grade or something. It's the 160th.
Yes,
So it's a big winged Gundam. So they're all on the way, unfortunately, or otherwise. So yeah, that looks like. I was going to ask you. I don't know, Randall. Have you checked out the plastic in there?
Yeah, I've had a look at it, and it's not the same clear plastic that they did with the original issue. It doesn't have the how would you describe it? Like the soapy feel to it that the old plastic did.
Yeah,
I think
I know.
the paint should adhere a lot better to it. And the only thing is, it's still the same molds. They didn't correct any of the deficiencies in the original kit, as far as I'm aware. I can just helps if I open the right end.
Well, it is pretty late for you.
Yeah, there's like supposed to be. It's hard to see, but this is the underside of the saucer hull. There's supposed to be like a bank of windows here, which have not been added.
Right.
I think. Various other parts. There's this is fun. Anyway, yeah, there's part of the impulse engine on the back of the neck is still the original little square box that AMT originally molded.
Yeah.
And other than that, it's pretty much the same thing, the same molded parts as the original.
Yeah.
Just with a better clear plastic.
Well, I think I'll probably do what Carwin did in it. So those parts I'll round off like the original studio model, and because there's nothing that was square on the original Enterprise, everything was rounded and curved, and on that D.
Yeah. There's Dawn's Light and Magic do a lot of the correction parts and things like that. So they're still, it's still worth investing in that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did. Well, he did a lot of the nacelle, clear nacelle. You know, already tinted blue.
Well, I want to get phaser banks and what else, the photo etch phaser banks. Plus, also I want to get the trench as well, because obviously when you lighten the cells up, you're going to need to cover the trench over where you run your lighting.
Right. It's kind of hard to see, but the pole support is hollow.
Nice.
Oh, that's nice.
So something to run your power leads up.
Yeah.
And the decal sheet is an improvement, but it doesn't include the Aztecing.
Oh no! I knew that they're bringing out a Generations version of that or something, aren't they?
Mm.
Oh, nice. The lifeboats and.
Yep, that'll be nice. That's going to be nice.
Lots of lifeboats.
Lots of lifeboats. Yeah.
Well, we got over 1,000 people to save.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, what was
All right.
Things 1,400 or something like that. Oh, no, that was
1,400 scale. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I've got the Enterprise. I'm going to do the Enterprise E the same way as I would do the D, clear D, because trying to drill out all those little windows for the Enterprise E would be ridiculous, and it's it's molded in like a white plastic. So you might as well just do the same thing and you know, spray it white and then spray it black and just scrape out the windows. I reckon it'll light up just as well as what not as well, but you know, it'll still light up.
Maybe better because the light will be a bit more muted.
Yeah.
In the windows, there'll be no glare or anything like that. The way some do. If the light catches the right way, it just seems to glare out the windows, and for people inside, they must be blind.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it as far as the Clear D is concerned. As I say, just better decals. The Aztec decals are going to be sold separately, and better plastic.
I've got the masking templates. So I got a little plotter there, so I'll probably end up spraying the Aztec pattern on, because I've got a plotter, so I can just plot out my own masks. Or I could probably print them out as well, I suppose. Make some decal, print them out.
Okay. Well, I think that should do it for this year, actually. Thank you for watching, and if you'd like to see our past Hangouts, go to my channel. Again, I'm being unabashedly promoting my channel on YouTube, Scratch and Jack, and like this, make a comment, ask a question. We'll get to it. And as I said, we do participate in the side conversations as well. And also, this is going to be the last show for the 2016 year. So I'd like to wish everyone in the community, for your friends and family, the best of Christmases and New Year's, and may it be prosper, and may there be a lot of new models to be built next year. And as I said, we're going to start the out of comfort zone January to February, March and April, a spring build, and that could be of your choice. And boy, I don't know if there's anything else I need to mention. But thank you for watching, and I'd like to thank Heath for not being here. No, that's not how I mean it. I hope that Heath is having a good time watching his movie, Rogue One. Thanks, Jay, for stopping by as well as Mike. Both of you have to leave, but thank you anyhow for participating. And I'd like to thank Jim. Jim has been steadfast to the community all year. I think the community is becoming more his than anybody. He monitors this place like better than, I don't want to make any comparisons, but you monitor the community very well. Thank you very much.
No, you're welcome.
And most of the members that are here are because of you. And also, I hope to see a lot of you next year, just the same as this past year. And thanks, Keith, for stopping by, albeit late, for sharing. And you had a nice conversation with Mark. That's a good thing. And I like to make those connections between modelers because this is what the community is about, too. And thank you, Randall, for stopping by. You look pretty awake, but it looks like you could use some sleep.
Sorry, what?
And this is your host, Scratch and Jack. Happy modeling, everyone. See you next year. Good night.
Good night.